absolutely disgusting. Let's have a chat, shall we? I don't know where the time has gone. The last time I recorded a video for this channel was a year ago. We just moved into our house, so it has officially been 1 year. And I feel like life just got so busy, so chaotic. And so I took a step back from this platform, really just focusing on short form, small, lower commitment pieces. And there's something about this channel that I just really miss, and all the weekly vlogs that I would make, and just how they would almost force me to go do something, go literally do anything that's not being on my phone. When I sit on my phone and scroll a lot, I feel like the passage of time just zooms by. And it's almost as if I've lost the ability to be bored. I remember being a kid and just always would complain, I'm so bored, and then would go find a video game, a coloring book, just some random hobby, go outside and walk in the woods, play with sticks. And nowadays, I feel like I'm not bored enough. I yearn to have downtime and I yearn to not do anything. We live in such a fast-paced world, and I really just want to take a step back and slow back down. I get caught up a lot in other people's lives on social media and just comparing my own life and my belongings to theirs. I often feel like I don't go outside enough. I don't travel enough. There are so many pieces of clothing I want that other people have. And I really just want to learn to appreciate the things I have, appreciate slowly bringing meaningful things into my home. So I have really been striving to create this boundary with my phone to slow down, to appreciate the things I have. And I want to take you guys along on a phone-free day with me. So let's talk quickly about how I kind of mitigate these things. Right now, bricks are super popular. I get ads for them all of the time. I see so many influencers talking about them. There's something to be said about being able to lock your phone and then not be able to unlock it unless you physically go up to the object and unbrick it. Whereas, you can set screen restrictions, but those are really easy to bypass on your phones. I came across an alternative called Focus. There's a similar app for Android called Switchly, but Focus is the iOS app. With Focus, you can either print out a QR code or you can use an NFC tag and it'll physically lock your phone. It'll restrict the apps you want restricted or your entire phone if you so desire. And you have to either scan the QR code or tap the NFC tag to unlock your phone. And so this is my object I tap my phone to. I made a rectangle. I painted a rectangle of clay and stuck an NFC tag to the back. I specifically, during the workday, lock social media apps and Depop and Poshmark and LinkedIn. LinkedIn counts as social media though. Those are the main time wasters I have. And then from about the hours of 6:30 or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., I have those same apps turned off. I have a very limited window for when I can access these apps. And then about once a week or so, I'll try and take a screen-free day where I just leave my phone somewhere else. I don't look at it, out of sight, out of mind. The physical barrier is very nice and it works really well for me. I don't find myself doom scrolling as much in those windows of time where I do have access to the apps. I find myself doing other things. It's kind of retrained my brain not to go to those apps. During these times when I have my phone and distracting apps blocked, I have resorted to hobbies, obviously. I'm a very hobby-oriented person. I love my hobbies and I've been sharing them with the internet for quite some time. This is my hobby bag I carry around the house. I keep a couple things in this bag. I always carry around my current read. Right now it is Blood Over Bright Haven by Emma Wong and I'm almost done with it. I'm hoping to finish it in the next couple hours. I have a Woobles in here. My partner got me one. He was really obsessed with his Wooble and he was like, you have to try this. Crocheting makes me so mad. I like knitting, but for some reason I cannot understand crochet. So I will have to try this again. I started and restarted this several times and just got so mad at it. I think that's telling. That's telling. Try that again. I have a couple of gaming consoles in here. I have my Switch 2 and then I have my Game Boy in here. Just easy things to pick up. And I'm not entirely trying to cut out screens. Obviously I have some video games in the bag. I want to be more intentional with my screen time and the things I'm consuming. So when I play video games, I really like to play story-driven narratives or puzzle games, things that really engage my brain and that I can kind of critically think with. Lately, I've been loving Tomodachi Life a little bit too much. It kind of feels like something that should be restricted and limited because I will just sit there and watch my Miis go by like an aquarium. I love checking in on them. It's great to play in like short sprints. Like when I'm on break at work, kind of play it for a couple minutes and then put it down. I have some headphones for when I want to listen to audiobooks. I have a journaling RPG, which I have been really loving lately. If you've never heard of a journaling RPG, think D&D, except you play by yourself and you write down your journey. There are so many journaling RPGs and solo RPGs out there. The one I'm currently playing is What Should We Have Tomorrow? This is a game about cooking for your loved ones, and you draw cards to fill your pantry and you have to make meals out of the things in your pantry and serve them to your loved ones. I've found this game to just be so thoughtful and reflective. So I've really enjoyed this game. I have my iPad in here in case I want to bake something or look at a recipe or something. I really don't have that many apps on here, so there's not much for me to do on here. And lastly, I have a coloring book. I have a few hours before I have to meet up with someone online. We're working on a book PowerPoint together for our book club to present some book options for the next year. And I really want to finish Blood Over Bright Haven before then because that's one of the books we'll be presenting on. I'm like nearly finished. So I think I'm gonna lock in on my audiobook, kind of tidy up the house a bit, and yeah, we'll just enjoy this phone-free day together as it comes. I finished the book with literally 2 minutes to spare. Now I'm off to PowerPointing. PowerPointing is done. We picked out 3 books to present to our book club, and our book club gets to vote and pick one to read next year. And so I believe there are 12 groups, and each group is presenting a book, and then we'll pick a book from a different genre for each month of the year. The 3 books we picked out were Blood Over Brighthaven by Emma Wong, which I just finished. I liked that book. I liked it more than The Sword of Kaigen, which I read not too long ago. I thought the magic system was really unique in how it was kind of like computer programming based. I really liked all of its religious, racial, political musings. I thought it did a really good job with those topics. And I think that'll be a great book to discuss with a group. We also picked out Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I liked that book as well. I thought it was really cute, and it's a good like standalone, especially if people are more like hesitant to get into fantasy. I feel like all 3 of these books are good books for people who don't necessarily read fantasy all the time. Yeah, I mean, I just thought Tress was cute. There's not much else to say about it. And then the 3rd book, which is one of my all-time favorite fantasy reads, is Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. T. Kingfisher is my personal favorite author. I just love all of her work that I've read up to this point. I haven't read too much of her horror stuff, but Nettle and Bone is kind of like this horror fantasy blend, and I think it does a really good job, and we have a lot of horror and thriller fans in the group, so I think they'll really like that one as well. It's just a good standalone quest fantasy. I love a good quest. I love a ragtag group who bonds together and gets it done. I'm really excited to see what other books people present and what the group comes up with and what they decide to vote on. I'm gonna take a short, like 5-minute walk around the block to check the mail. I have some stuff that arrived, so we can take a look at that, and then gotta figure out what else I want to do on this phone-free day. Something that has helped me in times of like indecision is I made a hobby menu. And I just keep this in the back of my Hobonichi weeks. It's just a written list of things to do that aren't being on my phone. So sometimes that's nice to take a look at and just like sift through like, oh yeah, I can do that. But I think I'm gonna get in the kitchen and do a little project of some kind. Not sure what I want to dive into, but I will think about it when I'm on my walk. And this is why I've bricked shopping apps on my phone, because I have 3 packages today. Honestly, not... let me explain myself, please. I am so embarrassed, and I really just gotta hold this L. I decided it would be a fun idea to buy some supplies to decorate my Switch with, and I got like a case and some thumb... what are they called? Joystick covers. I buy all this on Etsy. They're from 2 separate shops. I get the case and I'm like, where are the thumb grips? And that's when I realized I spent $20 to ship $6 thumb grips from the UK. And I was like, I am so like, how did you let this happen, girl? They're cute. I have a box. This is from Pango Books. I try and make myself feel better by being like, oh, I'm buying things secondhand. It's not all that much better, but I mean, slightly. So I placed an order on Pango Books for my next book club book. I'm in 2 book clubs, by the way, which is fun, but kind of tough. I only can read like 3 or 4 books in a month, and so that means 2 of them are book club books, and then I have very little time to read something I want to read. But I got a copy of Starter Villain by John Scalzi for my book club. I've wanted to read this book for some time, so I'm excited for this one. Also, I just love Pango Books. This looks so like new. Like, it literally looks like no one touched this. I think John Scalzi is so funny. I've only read one of his other books, and I watched him give a talk once. I just thought the book I read was just so funny. I read When the Moon Hits Your Eye, and I'm sure you're singing the song in your head, just like me right now. But it's a very serious take on what would happen if the moon turned to cheese, and I just thought his writing was so funny, and like each joke, each punchline, you just let a huff of air out through your nose, like, That's funny. I mean, I didn't think it was like the greatest book on earth. I think I rated it like 3.5 stars, but I just thought it was very humorous. So I wanted to try some of his other work. This is another like very unserious book. It's about a guy who inherits his family's supervillain business, but he's just a very normal dude and he's not very good at being a supervillain. Peter is a part of this book club too, so this will be read twice. So I think this is a very valid purchase because it was going to take a long time to get this from the library. I love Pango books. I'm ratting on myself, but I did purchase something from Depop. Some shoes. They're so cute. Oh, they're a little scuffed. That would have been nice to know. Anyways, Depop, self-explanatory. Why Depop is locked on my phone. They are so cute. A little bit of nail polish remover and they're good as new. I really want to do like a project in the kitchen once a week again. Before we moved, I used to have a sourdough starter and I would make bread weekly, even multiple times a week if necessary. And I don't know, I just stopped keeping up with it. We got rid of it in the move and now I don't have sourdough. But also, I just don't bake and I'm not as much in the kitchen anymore except to like help cook dinner. And I really want to make some more healthy snacks to eat throughout the week. The last couple weeks, I don't know, we just like filled our house with cheesy snacks. You know, I ate cheese for all of my snacks of the day. And then at the end of the day, I had a bowl of Tillamook ice cream and like God bless the PNW for having Tillamook ice cream because it's the best thing on earth. You can probably infer what happened next. I don't process lactose very well. I'm probably undiagnosed lactose intolerant and I'm not very good about taking Lactaid. Anyway, so I would like to diversify my snack selection. And I find making like snacks and stuff like this really like agonizing because I think of it as meal prep, but I'm trying to think of it as a fun project. I'm trying to rewire my brain right now. So I'm going to make some energy balls. They sound great. They should be super easy to make. You just pile everything into the food processor, blend it, and then roll it up into balls. Good morning, friends. Today ended pretty abruptly. I fell asleep at like 8 p.m. on accident, and that was it. I got some new glasses on Friday, so I've been with them for 3 days just about. So yesterday was my second day wearing them. And my prescription has changed a lot, so I'm just having like a bit of a hard time adjusting. So I needed some time without my glasses and just to like close my eyes. And then I just fell asleep. If you also wear glasses, you might understand my plight there. But thank you for coming along with me on this phone-free day. I hope it inspired you to find ways to release yourself from your phone and just be in the moment. Enjoy some time doing things you love. That is all I have for this video, and I hope to see you all again soon.